Hi, I'm here with Eddie Stone from the Waterboarders, all the way from the UK. This is Philadelphia. Welcome to the show, Eddie.
Hey, good to be here, Ryan.
Um, I've been very excited. This has kind of been a long time coming, this interview. We've been back and forth, but before that, I was kind of researching you guys a little bit, and I came across your Bandcamp page. And I love when surf bands do covers
Okay.
of like punk rock covers or anything that works tremendously well in surf music. And my favorite song by the Dead Kennedys is Moon Over Marin.
Okay. Yeah.
And you did Moon Over Milford. So,
Milford Haven. Yeah. Yeah.
and a lot of people outside of surf wouldn't know the connection. Do you want to explain the connection between the Dead Kennedys and surf music?
Man. Yeah, we started learning that song just because it's a cool song. It's got a really nice riff in it,
Yeah.
and we renamed it. I believe the song "Moon Over Marin" was about a big oil spill, and in the '60s, I think it was, we had a massive oil spill here in the UK off a port called Milford Haven. So we renamed the song "Moon Over Milford," and in honor of those great oil spills we've had that have ruined the coastline for years. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a nice song to play, that one.
Yeah. So tell everybody about the quite extensive history of the waterboarders. And you know, I know the pandemic hit really hard. Um, so start from the beginning and get us up to the pandemic and how you got back on your feet.
Okay, so we started. It was after a friend and I went to see Agent Orange. So I'd had like this sort of thing. Wasn't in a band at the moment. We were both on the run from a couple of punk bands we were in, and we went to see Agent Orange in Plymouth. And in the bar afterwards, I sort of mentioned to my friend, "Oh, I'm thinking about starting a surf band, kind of instrumental surf punky stuff. I don't know." And he just sort of went, "Well, I've just bought a new bass." I was like, "Right. Well, I've been learning the guitar bits," which was a step up from playing punk rock. I don't know if you play
Oh
much,
yeah. Oh yeah.
but boy, it was a learning curve. And then so we started together, just going around the house. His girlfriend was luckily quite liked surf music, so we tortured her for a few months, and then getting some songs like Mr. Moto and Pipeline, the standard ones, basically the ones that are on Agent Orange CD, I think. And then we managed to persuade a friend's brother to play drums, but I don't think he was old enough to even get into a bar. So he helped us like get a sound, and then he went to college and we got another drummer. We've had a long history of drummers, so we're on our 12th or 13th drummer.
Right. Like Spinal Tap.
Yeah, kind of. They don't explode. They just kind of find other things to do. But yeah, so we got a drummer, and then we sort of came up with a name, and then sort of started playing gigs. It's a long time ago, and I forget how hard it was. I think when you trying to get a band together and getting a set together seemed to take ages to get enough songs because they're really short surf songs, so you just need a lot of them. And it was that was, and then we got quite popular fairly quickly. Got into like playing festivals and things. We had a good few solid years then of getting our stuff together and playing songs and starting to write a few songs. And then that drummer left, and we went through a period of lots of drummers until Tony joined us, who's really capable. And then the pandemic arrived, and just before the pandemic, the bass player Adam decided to leave. I don't know if you've ever been in a band where you have a founder member leave, but it leaves a really big hole to fill because you
Yeah.
have like all the attitude and the ideas and the shared uh, vision of what you're doing, and then you have to find somebody that buys into that same thing. So
Yeah.
that it took a long time to find a bass player. Bass players are really rare, I think. Here,
No,
we
I
know
would say so. Yeah.
everybody says about drummers, but I found drummers. You can find drummers, lots
Hmm.
of drummers really easily, but bass players, like, and to find a proper bass player that plays just plays bass and is not like a guitar player turned bass player, to get someone that really knows it,
Yeah.
is really hard. If I give any advice to anyone who wants to be in a band, is learn bass. It's the one that makes people dance, I think. So that got to the pandemic, and then it was hard. I think it's hard for a lot of bands, and we had a lot of people just quit music altogether, which is really sad.
Yeah.
So, but we got Mike with us, who's not only an awesome bass player, but also a graphic designer. So the theory is our graphics will improve. And so he's been with us. We played a couple of shows that have gone down really well, and we're in sort of a songwriting thing at the moment. We're trying to get some songs together.
Ah, so that's probably a 2025 thing then, right?
Yeah, I guess. We're going to get some demos together, I think, hopefully
Okay.
before Christmas. We've got a plan for getting some recordings sorted.
Okay.
It's like trying to get three people together that got busy lives.
Yep. Yep.
I'm amazed that happens at all, to be honest.
Yeah. Even when you're young, it's tough to get a group of people together on their schedules. But
Yeah, I guess. Depends on how motivated everybody is. Some people are,
yeah, it's hard to find the same level of motivation.
yeah, when you got three guys like that, then yeah, I think you can go a long way, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Totally. Now listen, there's this is the same with any genre, I believe. When you start out, you have like a few originals that have kind of said, okay, this, and this. These are the best ones we're gonna play in front of people or release. But then, in order to have a full set, you have like kind of quite a few covers in your repertoire that you can
Yeah.
pull from, get the when you get the feeling for the crowd, like one of some of your most memorable covers starting out. Like just give me like a few.
Our covers we did when we started out. There was a strong temptation to sing
Yeah, yeah.
because it's kind of when you got like guitar, bass, and drums, everyone just expects somebody to sing.
Hmm.
And I think we tried like Secret Agent Man, but I was like suddenly I was like I'm not into the singing. I just don't enjoy it. I come from a band where I was saying I just don't enjoy it. So I made this like commitment to be a instrumental band, which we became well known for, which was really cool. But the covers we started off with was we did a instrumental version of Secret Agent Man, which we still play now, better than we used to. And then just sort of mainly covers of the old surf songs, Penetration, Pipeline, Mr. Moto, a couple of uh, Rumble at Waikiki, that's something,
Okay.
and a few Man or Astro Man songs.
Ah,
So
yeah.
we had those. We had, and a couple of covers of vocals. So we have Enola Gay, which we call a Aloha Enola. So that's off the.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a great song to play. That one always goes down well. That one. I think because people kind of recognise it and it's a great tune. And then what else we played? We learned Take Five, not Take Five. Time is Tight, Booker T and the MGs.
Uh
That's a great song to play as well because it's a bit different to the surf beat. It's kind of got that soul beat pushing it forward. That's a great song
yeah.
to play. So yeah, to be honest, it's probably quite a few covers. If we're playing live, you have to entertain the audience, I think, more than playing your own stuff. So depends who we're playing for.
Kind of like playing a little familiar, more familiar songs to the audience. Kind of says, okay, now this is what these guys are about.
Yeah,
And then you put your songs in there, and they're like, oh yeah, now we get it.
Yeah. I think you have to. When the first when we started out, we had 3 songs, and we always played the same 3 songs, just because if you're nervous, you've got 3 familiar things, and then after 3 songs, you kind of settled into the groove. But also the audience, if you play 3 instrumental songs, the audience know what you're doing. You're not going to be singing. You're not going to be. This is it. So it's like nailing your colours to the mast. You're like, this is what we're playing, and you can stand and watch or go somewhere else. But yeah, we used to play it. Start off with a Link Ray song, and then Pipeline, and then a Man or Astroman song, and that was our 3 songs. We played those, so we played those with our eyes shut. If the sound was bad, if the things were playing up, we could always get through those songs, and then you're into your groove, and then after that it would change. So nice. It's cool. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. So, what is your gear of choice? Like amps, guitars, reverb.
It's really basic. I use a Fender Jazzmaster. It's a classic player, I think it was. I remember when it came out. I bought it when it came out. It was ridiculously cheap, and then the price shot up in the next couple of years. But sometimes Fender, when they produce a new line, they don't always get the pricing right. So I bought that. I had changed the pickups to Elvis Costello, the ones off an Elvis Costello model, so that they're nice and pick up. And did I put a new pick guard? I don't know. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. And that's my standard instrument. I have another Jazzmaster, the nitrocellulose ones that they brought out, which is a nicer guitar. It's got like the proper bridge on it. But the classic player gets played the most. Well, when we started, I had a Mosrite copy.
Mm-hmm.
That was fairly bad. But I put some Alnico pickups in that, and that really gave it some bite. It's quite a good sound. That's on the first CD. But generally, yeah, classic player, Jazzmaster goes into a tuner, goes into a tube reverb, and then it goes into a Music Man HD 110.
Nice.
These are for a smaller gig. I've got like smaller tube amps. For bigger gigs, I've got a Fender Showman, which is it's beautiful to play, but it's huge, and it's heavy, and it's really, really loud. So we play that. I've played that at outdoor festivals and been told to turn it down. So it doesn't get used much. But that's probably the nicest sounding amp I have, I think.
I have right behind me. I have a Fender Frontline,
right,
212, and it's 100 watts. And my wife's like, "Oh, that shouldn't be too bad." And I'm like, "I can't get it above 1. I can't really get it midway past 1 in the house because I live in a townhouse."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "No, I got to go way down in the basement." And like box myself off.
Yeah, I mean the Music Man is quite some amp. It was like the next line that Leo Fender designed. And so it has like a solid state preamp and a massive valves on a power stage, and it absolutely roars. It's a very small amp. It always surprises people at how much it kicks out.
Yeah,
it's a tube amp, and you're like, I wouldn't underestimate it. They're great amps, the Music Man. bit not quite vintage sound, but they're great amps for playing live in, I think. And,
Nice.
so yeah, that's basically it. And a homemade tube reverb. So
Excellent. What's the festival poster behind you?
Surfer
2010.
This
What is
this
that?
one. This is the first one we went to, 2010, and that's the.
Oh, nice. Wow.
So, and that's the last one I went to, I think. Awesome. So 2010 one was like the year we started, and we were looking online, and I was like, "There's a festival in Italy that's free. That's all surf music. Let's go!" And we went out, and it was just epic. It was just, it always one that Livorno is one that I have to say, one of the greatest places there is in Italy. I think other places are obviously as good, but for us, Livorno is a very special place. I think. So that was 2010. That's a long time ago.
Yeah. I love every summer seeing the videos pop up from Livorno and the festival, and it's just like I don't know, it seems like paradise. Is that what it was like for you?
Yeah, it's so familiar now that
Yeah.
because I always went kind of every year. There was I don't think I went in 2011 because I was unemployed. And then 2000 and 2012, I think it went the first year it was in the diner. The diner's right by the sea,
Yeah. Oh wow.
and it's all in sort of one place, and it's just it's a great party. Really, it starts at like midday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. One year, I thought, well, I'll see how late it goes on the Saturday because what I've always left, it's still in like full flow. I thought, well, I'll see how late it gets, and it got to, I think it was 4:45 in the morning. There was still serving drinks. There was still dancing downstairs. There's still a band playing upstairs, and I was like, okay, I quit. The sun was coming up, and I'm like, I'm going back to my room.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I don't know what time it stopped, but they certainly have a good time. It's a great night there.
Excellent. Excellent. So, before we sign off, I just want to give you an opportunity to maybe mention something or ask a question or maybe talk about something I haven't mentioned, or haven't asked about, about the band or upcoming in 2025 or anything.
Upcoming, we haven't got too much planned. Live music's like in a slump where we are, so it's kind of feels difficult to get gigs. But I was wondering if you could tell us a bit about Pi Records. I just see it.
Um, It started off like I had a Discogs store
Okay.
where I sold vinyl. And this is just like Pi is what I the fictitious record label I put my records out in college on, my band's records, and
Uh-huh.
then it kind of just stuck around. Um, and then when I did this Pi Records, I got an LLC and chose this name, and I went from just doing the Discogs thing to doing like music reviews, and then started to turn more surf, and then started doing interviews and different segments, and I noticed that there just wasn't a lot of media representation for surf music,
No.
not like other genres where punk rock has like such a network of resources, and there are resource sources for surf. It's just um, there wasn't much on YouTube, So I thought, well,
Yeah.
that might be a good place to put things. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
thanks for your
yeah,
for doing something for surf music because it's a great genre. It's like so it's so much fun. But I mean, you came into surf music through punk. Did
yeah.
you?
Well, I was young when my family was into surf music, But at that time, when I was in college, it was 1994, so we had, in America at least, there was a giant punk explosion,
Yeah,
surf music explosion. There was ska, like the third wave of ska, and big band, rockabilly, like all that shit was happening in the
yeah,
90s.
yeah. Yeah, it's all those like little niches of music just
Yeah.
blew up, didn't they?
But the
It's
cool thing about it was, you'd see the same group of people going
yeah,
to all the different shows, and it was quite a thing to be a part of, in
yeah, yeah.
Philadelphia at least.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. We had. I think Plymouth's kind of a punk rock kind of metal town for live
Yeah.
music, and surf music fitted in there for a bit. I think punk sort of forgetting about surf music a bit
Oh yeah.
freedom. I'm sure surf's been around a long time. It'll survive.
All right. All right, man. Eddie, you
Thanks
have
for
you have a great rest of your day, and thanks for lending me some of your time on on a Saturday of all days.
that's cool. It's only what 7 o'clock here. I'm off to
Oh
see
yeah.
a friend's band in a bit. It's
Oh, who you going to see?
a friend's band called Sea Yellow. They are just releasing a CD today.
Oh, nice,
So we're off
great.
to that. So I better promote the Waterboarders with www.thewaterboarders.net or on Bandcamp. I think there's two bands called the Waterboarders, but with the coolest one.
Ah, nice. That is true. I'll put the links in the description of the
Ah,
video
cool,
so they can go
cool,
right
thanks.
to you, right to your
Yeah,
website.
it'd be good to hear from anyone.